A big hello, everyone, and welcome to Elevating Your Life. Today is going to be an amazing, amazing interview. I am so excited. I'm sharing with you today Dr. Mark Mincolla. He's PhD. He's a nutritional therapist and quantum energy healer who has transformed the lives of more than 60,000 patients over the last 35 years. Dr. Mincolla has authored 7 international best-selling books and has appeared on numerous national TV and radio shows and in regional and national magazines. Amazing, amazing work what you do for everyone, Mark. And we're going to talk about his latest book today, The Way of Miracles. And I have to say, I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. It shared so much wonderful information. So first off, I want to say welcome. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Paul. It's great to be with you.
Thank you. Well, is there any more, would you like to expand a little bit on your background and kind of what brought you to where you're at today?
Sure, of course. A number of years ago, I was actually focusing on being a business major in undergraduate school. And while I was in undergraduate school, my older brother, Anthony, at age 35, had a heart attack. And he was a recipient of open heart surgery during a time when it was a very crude operation. I don't know if you remember back that far, but back in the 70s, a lot of those surgeries were very, very crude and hadn't become sophisticated as they have in recent times. So he went through a lot of pain and suffering, and it was astounding to me that he actually at age 35 could suffer such a fate. It was just a shock, and it's an alarming shock to me. So when I went to visit him in the hospital, right after his open heart surgery, they actually, back in those days, they sliced you from under your chin to your toe, opened you wide open. Incredible surgery. So he went through absolute hell. And when I went to visit him, I was really determined to try to help my brother any way that I could. Conversation, love, anything. What can I do to make your life better? How can I help you? The healer comes out of you, and the brother comes out of you, you know?
Yes.
So I was very devoted to the idea of trying to help my brother become well in some way, shape, or form. Long story short is, I found out from speaking with his physicians that the reason for his heart attack was hyperproteinemia. So there was a lot of 3-carbon fats, triglycerides in his arteries from poor diet. I remember at that time in my life, this is back 1972, 73, I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned to think that food could do that. Food can create that kind of potentially life-threatening horror. How's that possible? And it was a new thing to me. It was astounding. I started to read and study, and I found myself in a lot of reference library areas, reading everything I could about it, studying. And long story short is, shortly thereafter, I decided to switch my major. I decided to go from a business major to a nutrition major. And the rest, as they say, is history, you know? So it's been 37 years and 60,000 appointments, like you pointed out earlier in the intro. And over the years, I've stumbled, the title of the new book, as you point out, is The Way of Miracles. And then there's a movie too. We produced a movie called The Way of Miracles. The movie was released last week and the book was released last week. So the movie and the film are both available as of last week. And the book and the movie are about the second part of my unfoldment. The first part of my unfoldment was going from business to nutrition. The second part of my unfoldment was realizing that we can make miracles with nutrition.
Yes.
I learned slowly but surely over the course of my lifetime that we can actually save lives in miraculous fashion. Not just my brother, but the world at large.
Yes.
So I've worked so hard, studied so hard, devoted myself, dedicated myself to natural medicine and nutritional medicine and supplementation, natural supplements, etc.
Yes.
And, I've helped so many different people over the years. We say miracle, we use the term miracles. In the film and in the book, we talk about patients that have had brain tumors that went away in 5 months. We talk about patients who were told that they can't have children. The one woman that's in the film was told by her fertility experts at Mass General Hospital that she couldn't have babies. She's had 3 children now. So she's, as of now, she has her third, just had her third recently. So much for that. So again, we take a different road. We take a different approach, different path. We believe that miracles are expected. I said there's 4 different possibilities. Miracles can be rejected, miracles can be accepted, miracles be expected, and miracles can be made, created. I focus on creation of miracles. I say stick with the creation process.
Yes.
You can make miracles if you believe you can. If you're coming from your higher self, not your mundane self, not your ego. You come from the self that is miraculous unto itself. That's where miracles are made. So it started off by shifting from business to nutrition. And then it became a process of unfolding the reality of miracles from day to day, person by person, and then sharing the message to the world that miracles are waiting for you to wake up.
Yeah, they're out there, aren't they? All around us, and
They're out there and they're in there too. I think
us.
it's a matter of tapping into your source, your higher self, your soul, and emanating. You know, we have I say we have an identity crisis. We grew up in a material culture that tells us that we're ego, we're material, we're personality, we're cells, we're tissues, we're organisms. We're more than that. We're souls, we're spirits. We have immeasurable amount of energy in those deeper recesses of who we are.
In your book, you mention super consciousness. Tell us what that is and how that relates to healing.
We all know what consciousness is. Consciousness is, you have the conscious mind, pretty busy mind, pretty incredible. The mind is a very powerful agent. The conscious mind can produce 2,000 bits of information per second. Pretty amazing. The unconscious mind can produce 400 billion bits of information per second. So there's the power. There's the incredible energy. And super consciousness to me goes beyond the subconscious mind, goes beyond the unconscious mind. Super conscious is when you take your personal consciousness, your awareness at the highest level, and seek to cultivate a connection between your consciousness and the universe's consciousness.
Oh, I love it.
The universe is conscious. It's like a person to me. I said the universe isn't a place. It's not a galaxy. It's not like a galaxy. It's not like a solar system. The universe is not a place. It's a living, breathing thing. It's like a person. It's like you and I. It wants to be loved. It wants to be cared about. It wants to be connected with. It wants your friendship, wants your care, your concern. So I made friends with the universe. I became a lover of the universe, a friend of the universe, a connection to the universe. And the universe is good to me. It gives me whatever I want now. Want a miracle, you can have a miracle. All you gotta do is love the universe.
And isn't there a connection between the heart, the body, and consciousness? I mean, it's all connected, isn't it?
Well, everything is. Separation is an illusion.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as separation. That's a misnomer. Everything is connected, everything is interconnected, everything is part of one. So it's a matter of you developing an awareness to that fact and developing a working awareness. So you're not just intellectualizing it, but you're actually living it. Yes. So if you can live with a sense of connection to the universe, then you can access miracles pretty easily. We have them daily. Every day there's a miracle that comes in this office. Every day.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And would you say, Mark, that a negative attitude and thought process compared to a positive attitude and thought process can make a big difference in our health?
Well, first of all, everything is energy. Everything is energy. You talk about the work of Werner Heisenberg in 1937, won the Nobel Prize for telling us that everything in the universe is 99.999% energy and 0.001% matter. So everything is energy. So is negativity energy? Yes. Is positivity energy? Yes. So you're made up of energy and you attract energy and you project energy. Energy can be transmitted or received, just like electricity. Transmitted energy, received energy. So whatever you transmit and receive is what your life is all about. So if you transmit and receive negative energy, you're going to produce negative results. Mm-hmm. You're going to attract negativity into your life. Whereas if you transmit and receive positivity, you're going to produce miracles.
Yes, yes. And you actually created, it's called Whole Health Healing, that system. Tell us
That's
about
right.
that.
There's two books that I've written. One is called Whole Health, and one's called The Whole Health Diet. And they both talking in detailed terms. They both speak in detailed terms about the system that I developed. And they detail the bioenergetic components of the system that relies heavily upon EMT, electromagnetic muscle testing. And actually, we have patients who come in and we test them energetically, muscularly for food sensitivities. We measure supplements, foods, supplements, beverages. We check organs and glands, the different body systems, the strengths, the weaknesses. We tap in everything at an energetic level. We measure everything from 1 to 10, positive and negative. So you can't do better than a plus 10. You can't do worse than a minus 10. So we pulse and we equivocate the levels of plus and minus at the energetic level. So we check everybody's liver, kidney, gallbladder, spleen, lungs, etc. So find out where the weaknesses are. Find out the parts of the body that need the help, need the therapeutic support. And we find out what foods match up, what foods are energetically positive and supportive and can help those organs get stronger and balanced and back in the saddle again. The same thing for supplements. We actually measure supplements in the same way, plus and minus, and to what extent, 1 to 10. We also do something called dose, frequency, duration, and cyclogeny. Dose, one tablet a day, 50 milligrams, whatever. Frequency, twice a week, 3 times a week. Duration, 3 months. Cyclogeny, you do 3 months on, 1 month off. So we actually measure the supplementation in detail. But when you take the time to energetically detail all this stuff, that's when people get better. The devil's in the details. So it's all about how detailed you are.
Yes, yes. And yeah, I just think muscle testing is so fascinating. In a way, you're able to communicate with the body and the body's energy, aren't you?
No question about it. Absolutely right. That's exactly what it's all about. The body produces neuromuscular reflex. Neuromuscular, so the nerves in the muscle system of the body just produce a response, a reaction. It's like a lie detector test. If you say the word wheat and your body doesn't do well with it, that arm's going to come down. If you say the word green beans and you do well with green beans, that arm's going to tighten right up. It's like a lie detector test. It's a neuromuscular response to images, to concepts, to visions, to pictures, and to outcomes that actually you can tap into and create an outcome-based process of therapy.
Yes, yes. And in the book, you have some absolutely fantastic exercises. I really loved your observe yourself exercise, where you go look in the mirror. I mean, something so simple, but wow.
Think about this. Everybody's looked into the eyes of the people that they love every day. What percentage of the general population has looked in their own eyes for 10 minutes a day?
Yeah.
Between 0 and 1%.
Yeah.
So to look in your own eyes and look in the center of your eyes, to gaze into the center of your eyes, and to just spend 10 minutes looking in, just to feel your spirit, to feel your soul, to feel your essence. You'll feel the essence of your being if you take the time to do that. And that's a life-changing possibility right there.
Yeah.
It's getting in touch with the real you. It's building a new concept of self. It's identifying yourself at a true level, at a real level. As I said earlier, a lot of healing, a lot of this process, a lot of what I write about with super consciousness boils down to this. We have an identity crisis. And it's about identifying your I. Who is your I? Who is your I? Who is your soul? Who are you when there's no name? Who are you where there's no performance levels? Who are you when there's a stripped down essence of self? Just your pure essence. That's what that exercise is about. Getting in touch with your pure essence.
Wow. I love it. I love it. It felt so good. I actually call my higher self my soul planner. So it was just like right there, connecting with my soul planner. I had never thought of looking myself in the eyes. It was simple, but yet so fantastic.
So powerful.
Oh my gosh. And something else you mentioned, Mark, that I thought was fascinating and so powerful is our two different selves that we have, the mortal self, the ego, and the immortal self, the soul, and how that affects our lives and our perceptions. Would you like to share a little bit more about that?
Well, once again, I think it's a matter of identifying your I. It's tapping into the identity crisis. I say we have a spiritual identity crisis right now on the planet. Because if people really looked in their own eyes, like I said, and if they tapped into their essence, their true essence, they wouldn't be trying half the things that they're trying. You know, they'd have more of a conscience.
Mhm.
They'd have more consciousness and more conscience. So conscience follows consciousness, in my opinion. And their lives would improve, their performance levels improve. Again, by taking the time to emanate from your core, to emanate, where do you come from is the bottom line. Are you even aware of where you come from? Everybody, are you aware of the difference that there's part of you that's eternal and part of you that's temporary? Are you capable of tapping into that and emanating through that? Do you work at channeling your energy through that, that eminence of energy? So I think that when you take the time to think about these things consciously, and then dedicate yourself to re-identifying yourself as a soul that's eternal, and that has no limitations. No limitations. Everybody wants to be limitless, but nobody wants to take the time to open up their spiritual development. So the part of you that's limitless, the part of you that's eternal, the part of you that never dies, the part of you that sees everything, that knows everything, is waiting for you to focus and emanate from that place, from that source, from that stream of consciousness. So when you do, that's when miracles become creatable, I'd say. You have the potential to create miracles in that zone, in that space, in that consciousness. That you can't produce when you're in the mundane self. Not possible. So what do you want? What do you want out of life? I think everybody wants more out of life, but you get to be more out of life, you have to be more of yourself, more of your true self.
Yes. Yes. So would you say, for someone listening right now saying, I want to create some miracles, I want to do it. So the first steps you would say is to kind of get out of that ego state and go into the soul state?
The first step is the mirror exercise. Go right to that mirror.
Okay.
And look in the core of those eyes, the center of those eyes, and be aware of the fact that you're connecting with your essence, your pure essence. Connect with your pure essence. Feel your soul. Know that it's quietly sitting in there observing everything you're doing. Know that it's always been there and always will be there. It'll never leave you. It can't leave you. It's who you are. It's what you are. It's where you come from. And to start tapping into that direction, tuning into that reality is a beginning process. That's the beginning of everything.
Yes. Oh, yes. Connecting with that, our soul, our higher self, yes. I have a bit of a journey thing that's a lot of fun that I do with my Reiki students, and we actually connect with our higher self, and the higher self puts their hand on your heart, you put your hand, and you just connect and look at them. And that's very similar.
Yes, it is.
To get to that realization, because when you say, Mark, that not everyone really realizes or thinks about their essence, we can get really stuck in that outside of here I am, and what car am I driving, and that kind of thing.
Well, those are important parts of day-to-day life. They're a part of our material reality. So we're not looking to get rid of those. We're looking to open it up and to integrate and to be more inclined to create a space for our eternal self, for our essence, for our soul, our deeper identity, our miracle-making identity.
Yeah.
And I think the key is to take the time to integrate the two. And so while you're here, you can still bring up that humanistic stuff, but you want to integrate it with your eternal stuff. The two can work beautifully together. It's all a question of how you integrate the process.
Yes. Oh, I love it. And in your book, you mentioned something called Lucid stillness. Tell us about that. I thought that was just fantastic.
When I wrote the book, I drew from my own experiences. When I wrote the book, I just tapped into myself and I thought to myself, how could I describe the perfect state to open up and to connect with my soul? What is the perfect state? How can I define that state? I mean, lucid just means crystal clear,
Mm-hmm.
So I think of like a pond that has no ripples in the pond. Just a clear, translucent pond of water. And then the concept of stillness works perfectly with that pond. So as an image, I try to create an energy around the words that people could grasp. I like to use words that produce an image, or words that produce color, words that produce shape. I like to use words that produce that stimulate the imagination. I like to write words like a painting. So I use a lot of different words in my books to try to create a painting. And lucid stillness is a perfect reference to me to enhance people's ability to connect with the perfection that is peace. And lucid stillness takes us to that place of peace that enables us to cultivate higher consciousness.
Yes. And would you say, with connecting to that and bringing more peace in our lives, that's going to have an effect on our health in general?
Well, again, like you said earlier, separation is an illusion. Everything is together. You know, the universe is holistic, and we're holistic. So our body, mind, and spirit are all working together. So if you fix one thing, you fix everything. And I think you're talking at core levels as well, Peter. We're talking about the essence of self at a core level. I mean, your core level. If there's one part of you that can heal every part of you, it's definitely your soul.
Wow. Wow. And it just opens up so much, such a door when you realize the soul, the essence that you are, and the miracles are really out there. Just taking that step to say, they are out there and I can create miracles. That's pretty huge, isn't it?
I mean, I'm thinking of the world we've lived in the past 18 months. If there's ever a world that's needed miracles, it's right now. It's our world right now. And I think that this is perfect timing to inspire people, to educate people, to challenge people, to be able to go to that higher being within themselves in order to produce miracles that are much needed, as we said.
Yes.
And that there's no limit to them. We can produce limitless miracles. But I think the whole planet needs to get busy with that. And imagine if everybody on this planet read the book, wouldn't that be nice? Everybody on the planet read the book, and everybody on the planet was determined to create miracles and to believe in miracles. If we had the whole planet just focused on miracles, we'd be in great shape.
Yes,
So it
would be huge, and it is. Yeah. It's a must read. The Way of Miracles. It's a must read. It covers so many things, but yet everything. What I felt reading the book, Mark, you explained it really where it's not. It was simple to take in, and a simple way to understand it and make the moves, do the exercises. It's really a great tool. It is.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, and I just recommend everyone read it. I was fascinated.
And the movie is great too. The movie is, let's not forget about how great this movie is. And the movie is tremendous. And in the movie we have six patients in the movie. And in the movie, one of the patients had a 37-year-old woman who had a brain tumor the size of a tennis ball in the frontal lobe. And they surgically removed it. And 2 months later, it grew back. She came to see me. She said, I couldn't do surgery anymore. I couldn't, no more brain surgery. I'd have to do something different. She came to see me. We put her on a program, worked hard with her. And in 5 months, the tumor in her brain completely vanished. And she's been tumor-free for 9 years.
Yeah. And
another story is we have a gentleman we saw was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And we found that it was a virus causing Parkinson's-like syndrome. Identical symptoms all the way down the line, but it was a virus that they didn't find that we found diagnostic through our energy diagnostics. Put him on a program. He's running 3 miles a day now.
Oh my gosh!
Great stories in the movie. So the movie is more visual, obviously, than the book. The book is a detailed inspiration, but the film is wonderful to watch too. So I recommend people want to see the film, they can go to thewayofmiracles.com.
Thewayofmiracles.com. Perfect.
They can tap into the film, watch the film.
We will check it out. I'm excited. I can't wait. I can only imagine with the years that you've been helping so many people, Mark, the stories and what you've seen. I can just imagine what that's been like for you. Oh,
It's been a true blessing, an amazing experience. It's been a great ride, and I'm honored to have made the trip that I've made. It's beautiful.
yes. And I really want to say a heartfelt thank you to you for helping so many people. Wow. Wow.
That's very kind of you. Thank you so much for that.
Oh,
I mean,
you're
I
welcome.
think I'm as honored as I can be to have the opportunity to do the work that I've done. It's a life. It's been well worth living, no question.
Yes. Yes. So would you recommend as kind of a first step to the listeners, to what they can do for increased health, what they can do for the, creating miracles? They can do that. They can start taking steps today, can't they?
Surely can, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of things come to mind. Number one, you talk about the mirror exercise. Get in that mirror 10 minutes a day and look in your eyes, and the dead center of your eyes. Give yourself 10 minutes of connection. That's number one. That reminds you who you really are. That takes you to the place of miracle making. Number one. Number two, when it comes to food, diet, nutrition, food, 72% of all disease comes from inflammation. 72%, including 150 autoimmune diseases. So what is inflammation? There's three different categories. The middle category is inflammatory. Foods that produce arachidonic fatty acid, that produce COX-2 hormones, leukotrienes, and things like that. So number one, red meat, cut down. Dairy, cut down. Nuts, unfortunately, peanuts. A lot of people love peanuts and all that stuff. You got to be careful. It's got a lot of arachidonic acid. It's inflammatory. Egg yolks, not the egg whites, egg yolks. And sugar. I think, and if you just stay away from those foods, cut those foods way down. You won't be feeding the inflammatory process nearly as much. You'll make a big difference.
Awesome.
You don't want to be inflamed. 72% of all disease inflammation. Cut down the inflammation by cutting down those foods.
Oh,
Again, that's egg yolks, peanuts, dairy products, and red meat.
yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And Mark, we have about 2 minutes left. What last words do you want to leave with everyone today?
I'd like to just remind everybody that you are not who you think you are. You've been led to believe that you're a mortal, exclusively mortal being with mortal limitations. Miracles are not accessible. Limitlessness is not accessible. Magnificence is not accessible. You're stuck in a mortal body, in a mortal world of possibilities that is very reduced. That's what you've been led to believe. I say, don't believe that. Stop believing that. Wake up to the fact, awaken to the fact, tune into the fact that you are also a soul, you're an immortal being. You have parts of your invisible self, your soul self, your essence, that are capable of making marvelous miracles, saving lives, saving your own life, making positive a natural factor in your life, overcoming negative, and being creative to the extent that you can actually create a magnificent life of choice with limitlessness and endless possibilities. That's who you really are.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Mark. And do you want to share any website information or anything else before we go with everyone?
Sure. People can tune into my website, markmincolla.com. Markmincolla.com. It's 2 L's, MINCOLLA, markmincolla.com, Mark with a K. You could also, as I said, check out the film. The film, The Way of Miracles, is worth watching.
Oh,
It's at thewayofmiracles.com. So check that out. And the book, The Way of Miracles, can be purchased at Amazon, or you can go to Beyond Words Publishing, either one.
I love it. Oh, Mark, thank you so much. This has been so fantastic.
Such a pleasure to have been with you. It's truly a fun experience. You do a wonderful interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I am so grateful. Love, hugs, and blessings to you, and love, hugs, and blessings to everyone. Oh, thank you for joining us. And Mark, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.